Hi everybody and welcome back. Welcome back to the Reconnection space where we talk all things reconnection. Reconnection with ourselves, reconnection with the world around us, with our relationships, and sharing stories of other people's reconnection. So I am so pleased today to have another fabulous guest here on the Reconnection Space channel. We have the amazing Virginie. Now, Virginie and I met. I'm going to say it, we're Amazon survivors. Okay, so that's where we met, in the wonderful world of Amazon. Other online retailers are available, but you know, I think most people are familiar with the Amazon brand. So that's where we met. But Virginie has reinvented herself. She has escaped and she is dialing in from Luxembourg. Now an author of a fabulous book called My Revenge on Life, talking about a specific kind of life experience, and also known now as my expat coach. So Virginie is going to tell us a bit about that at the end, but helping other people, you know, to actually settle and in their business. So lots of things going on. So thank you, Virginie, for joining us here on the channel.
Thank you for having me, Ali. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome. So your book has, let's get the exciting bit out there first. Your book has just been published on that. How weird is that your book is being sold by the company that you used to work for?
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? Yes, then I'm very pleased about that. It's now available also in English and in French, obviously, because I'm French. So, no, it's been a long delivery, a long process, but I'm happy that it's available now.
Fabulous. And I need to mention that Virginie has chosen kindly to conduct this interview in English because it's the only language that I speak, but she speaks many languages. Okay. All right. So Virginie, we met in a very corporate environment, but the story that you're about to tell us, you know, you've summarized it to me, and it's just kind of, you know, your heart in your mouth type moment. So I'm going to hand over to you. Tell us about that reconnection moment that you had in life.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ali. So as I told you, like approximately 20 years ago, I was coming back from France, having picked up my mom in northern France, going to the Netherlands, because I was living in the Netherlands. And we were in a tunnel in Belgium in a traffic jam, so stuck, standing still, when a big truck hit me. And so you don't know what happened. And then obviously the ambulance came, brought me to the hospital. And they told me that my pelvis was broken at different places, and then that my arm was broken. And so that meant that I had to stay almost 3 months in hospitals. Because it happened in Belgium, I had asked to be transferred to France to be closer to my family then. And again, there they found out that I had another break in my pelvis, and that I was not allowed to move. I had to lay down for 6 weeks in bed. So me being the independent woman that I was, and I still am, it was kind of tough, because like you think, what am I going to do in bed for 6 months? I was not able to sit, not able to move, just really laying down for 6 months. But then again, your body heals, and then fortunately, I was lucky to recover. And when they removed, I was put under traction, and to pull the weight out of my leg again, to prevent from my pelvis break to open even more. And then the doctors told me at the end that they had been very afraid for me, because I had been very, very close of being paralyzed.
Gosh.
So I was so thankful that I recovered. And then obviously the whole process starts. I was in a wheelchair, starting to walk or learning to walk like a baby, slowly but surely. And so overall, as I say, I stayed 3 months in hospital, and I'm so thankful every single day that I'm now back to where I was. But the way or why I recovered so well is because I've always stayed positive. I know this was a temporary situation, and that I just had to go through it. And of course, I had my ups and downs, like everybody. But again, I thought, okay, no, I'm just going to go back to my old life. I want to get out of this like before. And so, as I said, I was staying positive and at the right mindset. And what also helped me is the support from everybody. I had, of course, my family visiting every time, but also all my colleagues who were calling me every single day to check out on me. So
I just want to go back to a point that you said there, because you said one of the things that kept you going and got you through it was the fact was how you thought about it. And of course, here we're all about positive psychology. But you said, I knew it was temporary.
Yeah.
But actually, when we were sort of chatting before, the doctors, the doctors actually they didn't know for certain that it was temporary. So what was it that made you feel like, I know this is temporary? How did you get into that mindset of just believing that this would be okay?
That's a great question, Ali. I think maybe I was hoping it was a temporary situation. But again, I've always been someone who was always fighting hard to get what I wanted. And to me, I could not imagine myself staying in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. So as I say, I did everything I needed to do. I was eating well and getting some rest. Obviously, I had nothing else to do in bed, but also, as I say, trying to stay positive and make the best of the situation. It gave me some time to reflect and see, okay, well, I'm not going to bother anymore if I break a glass, for instance, where you could sometimes be more bothered about the material things.
Yeah.
So it really change your perspectives. And as I say, deep down, for me, there was no question that I would not walk back. But when the doctors told me that I was almost paralyzed, I cried, because I thought, oh my God, I had no idea I was so close to be paralyzed. Yeah.
And actually, the doctors had chosen not to tell you. They could have told you, but they chose not to tell you, not because they thought that you would react badly, but because you were in such a good headspace.
Exactly.
That they didn't want to change that at all. And that's why they chose actually to not tell you that they had some concerns.
Exactly. And the first, my reaction, I had mixed feelings, because I was like, well, it's my body, you should have told me. But on the other end, as you said, I was like, no, maybe they did the right thing, because if I had known that, I would have thought about it every single day, thinking, oh my God, I shouldn't do this, or I have to be careful of that. And maybe my recovery wouldn't have gone as good as it went, and maybe it would have taken even longer. Yeah. So as I say, I'm grateful they didn't tell me, but the moment they told me that, I was in shock. I don't have any other words. Yeah.
So it's so fabulous that gut feeling you had, that instinct, whatever it was true, and there you were back again. But you mentioned there again that it had this impact on you, in terms of it changed then how you thought about things. Describe that just a little bit more for us.
Yeah, so as I say, your perspective completely changed. I was, obviously, it's 20 years ago, so 20 years younger. You're still young. You think you're invisible, and sometimes you also, as I say, you get bothered by little things, like you break a glass, and you're like, oh my God, I broke my favorite glass. But then when you are in bed like that, you think, well, there are more important things in life, and the most important is your health. You only have your health. You can have millions and be the richest person in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So this is, as I say, for me, that was really a complete change in my perspective. And because of that, I really wanted to go out of there, and as I said, I was fortunate to recover and to be back, to get my life back, my normal life back.
Your normal life back. Well, thank you so much for sharing that reconnection moment and the impact that's had, and how can tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, because as I say, you're now coaching other people, and specifically expats. So tell us about what's going on now.
Yes, so as you know, Ali, I've been an expat also for the majority of my life. I've lived in 6 different countries, and I've always wanted to help people. I at work, all my previous job experiences, I've always been coaching or mentoring people, and now I wanted to do that as well for people. And I thought, okay, what there are so many coaches, as we know, out there. But I thought, okay, what makes me different? And as you say, I speak 5 different languages. I've been an expat all my life. So I thought, okay, yes, I know all the challenges you have to go through. And also like an accident like that. It happened in Belgium where they speak Dutch and I was speaking Dutch. So at the beginning, even when I was in the hospital, I had to translate for my mom and between the doctors, etc. So that was all these things that happened. So I thought, yeah, if I can share my experience and help people, not only professionally, but also personally, I would love to do that because, again, we all have things happening to us. But again, sometimes you just need a helping hand or someone who's been through these experiences to help you further. So that's what I'm doing now.
Fabulous. So when we post the video, we will share the links and you'll be able to go in and share those links so that people know exactly how to get in touch with you. My final question, as always, before we end the interview is for you, put you on the spot. Reconnection means what?
So reconnections for me is gratefulness. We often take things for granted. And again, like the accident I had, you realize that your life can be over just like that. So we should never take things for granted, not our health, not our relationship, not our business, not anything. So, and again, every single day I'm grateful I'm alive, I'm grateful I walk and I can do all the normal stuff. And so to me, that was reconnection. That was the light bulb, let's say.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Gosh, just like I say, my heart was in my mouth when you were telling me about the actual crash itself. Thank you so much for sharing that. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Space. And what I'd love you to do, of course, is not just watch this, but check out the links to Virginie's website, but also click that little button subscribe, okay? Because the more subscribers, the more features we get and the more that we can share with you. So we'll see you again. There'll be a new episode dropping in every week, plus other hints and tips. And if you have anything that you want some information on about Reconnection, why not drop us a line? Thanks again, Virginie, for joining us.
Thank you, Ali. Bye-bye.